So we're talking about today our favorite spots in Ventura County since we moved here a long time ago from Colorado, just around when COVID was happening.
Since we've moved here, our quality of life has just skyrocketed. I have just loved it. You know how sometimes when you're dating somebody and you're like, oh wow, the best dates at the very beginning are awesome, and then you progressively get to know the person and it's like and then you meet the person you want to marry and you're like, they just get better and better and better. I feel like we kind of have married Ventura County because it just gets better and better and better as we learn more about it.
First thing that stands out the most to me about Ventura County is just the fantastic weather here for a variety of reasons. I mean, we originally came from Denver where you would suffer when you got outside in the winter, and here is just temperate, gorgeous weather. Varies from the 60s to the high of 80 coastal areas.
Yeah, and what's nice is if you're having a gray day, like a gray May, gloom June, you can actually just go up to Fillmore, Santa Paula, Thousand Oaks, and it's all clear and sunny. And then you decide you want to be a little cooler and everything, you can just go to the coastal cities. I guess what really stands out first in my head is, of course, the beaches. I mean, truly that's why we moved out here. I was never considering myself a beach girl. I always considered myself more of a mountain girl because the first time I saw the ocean, it freaked me out. I'm like, it just goes on and on and on. Now, my favorite beach to go to is Hollywood Beach because you have a large beach area that you kind of feel like you're all by yourself and no one's bothering you, and you feel really rich and spoiled, and there's just, you can see the Anacapa Islands and these beautiful houses, and walking the dogs there and walking with your honey. It's just wonderful.
Rincon State Beach stands out as well as just a gorgeous park area with views of the islands, and you have a bluff that you can stand out. There's amazing surfing. It's just breathtaking when you get there. The availability of just fantastic locally grown food here as well stands out.
You might just bite into a cob of corn and it doesn't need anything on it because it tastes so sweet and yummy.
There's
yummy.
Farmers markets everywhere. They're sociable and fun, and you can even go to local farms that grow organically and regeneratively, and you can pick there. You can pick your own produce. You can get out into the blueberry patch, and so it's really an exceptional part of Ventura County.
What's really fun is that sometimes you can go to a different farmer's market and you'll see a produce that you've never seen before and can just try it out. And usually they're like, oh, you haven't tried this? Let me cut it for you and give it a try.
Yeah, you have dragon fruit and passion fruit and a lot of things that you might not have gotten in other parts of the country that are just growing here. Oh, which brings me to more things I want to talk about food. It seems like everybody has fruit trees and lots of things growing in their yards, and people are sharing produce pretty readily. So we have a friend who has an avocado tree, we have tangerines and oranges. So there's the ability just to trade produce with people, and that's really fun.
It makes for that friendly environment again.
Yeah.
And there are so many plants around here. We had never really in Colorado gone through with our whole idea of having a garden in our backyard of like fruits and vegetables, but we're doing it here. You can buy such a variety of plants around here. And you have like Green Thumb over in Ventura, but my favorite spots are over between Somas and Moore Park. There are miles and miles of plant nurseries that you can just get lost in.
Another standout you have are all the fantastic hikes you can do in Ventura County. One of my personal favorites is at the Santa Monica Mountains National Park, which you access right at Newberry Park there. It just feels like a vast wilderness when you get there, and you can hike roughly 8 miles from there all the way to the ocean. It's unreal. And there's even a seasonal waterfall.
And the one that kind of stands out in mine is the Arroyo Verde, because you go through the park and then you're able to take your dogs and hike around, and there's a lot of beautiful flowers, and you reach the peak and you can look over at the ocean, and it's close enough that you can just make it like, oh, let's just go over there for 15-20 minutes and do a short hike with a friend.
Yeah, and after all the rain in the winter, you end up with a wildflower jungle there where the wildflowers are like 8 feet tall. It is just gorgeous. Along those lines, the botanical gardens in Ventura stands out at the right time of the year, it is off the charts with just the variety there of plants. And then the views from there, which are just breathtaking, of the ocean and the Channel Islands. And when you get up to the Sarah Cross on top of Ventura, I mean, every time I go up there, I'm just blown away how gorgeous it is.
What is your favorite things to do in Ventura County? What would you also like us to try? Make a comment down below. Oh, we've been to quite a few museums while we've been out here, and I think we'd both agree that it doesn't matter which museum or historical site you go to as long as you have Richard Sennett take you out.
Yeah, he's just an amazing local author and historian, and he makes history fascinating.
Yeah, he's an amazing tour guide, and down in the section below we're going to put a link where you can actually sign up and be on one of his tours. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and follow button to be able to spend even more time with us.
Another standout for us is how truly friendly and community-oriented people are in this coastal side of Ventura County. We were talking to a friend the other day who lives over in the historic section of Oxnard, and he said that when he goes for a walk, sometimes it takes him a couple hours because people are so wanting to meet and talk with each other. One thing we've noticed is because you're outdoors so much and just outside, you can shop outdoors and be outdoors, I think people are just in a better mood. They're getting more sunshine. They seem happy to interact. It just feels very sociable here. So when you go to the farmer's market, you talk to people. When you go to the pedestrian mall, you're out and about meeting people.
And the beaches and the hikes, and there are a lot of smiles.
Yeah, so we've heard that from so many clients who've moved here and even are just visiting and checking it out, and they're just so impressed with how friendly people are.
And welcoming.
Yeah, and welcoming. So that is an exceptional thing, I think, about this area.
And on that note, that leads us to the small businesses. There are so many unique small businesses with friendly owners and workers. And when you go in, if you're really liking something, don't be surprised if another customer comes up to you and goes, "That would look beautiful on you," or "I love that too."
Yeah, we really just enjoyed highlighting local businesses in these areas because they're so creative and passionate about what they're doing and really have unique offerings for these communities.
All right, I know, I've heard it before. There are clubs everywhere, and how does that make anything special over here in Ventura County? Well, the difference is it's not as cliquey. You go over to Camarillo, and one of our clients was like, "I did not realize how many people like softball," and now they're in a softball league. And when we were going around and driving around, there was another one of tennis. People were playing tennis, and they're like, "Come and join us and have some fun with tennis." And of course, I'm talking to one of our neighbors and mentioning, yeah, we used to do improv and we used to do some theater. And next thing I know, they're planning a whole improv theater group and putting on funny plays because they don't feel there's enough funny plays out there. And of course, we can't forget pickleball. I mean, that is just off the charts. And whenever I get on Nextdoor saying, "Hey, is there a pickleball group?" everybody's like, "Oh, come join ours. What level are you? If you're a beginner, this is a great place. If you're an intermediate, this is a great place. If you're a woman, we have a women's league." That's how it is here. A lot of people are just welcoming and saying, "Hey, we're transplants too. We just want to have fun and meet new people."
Something I've enjoyed in particular is just all the opportunities to get out in nature. Paddleboarding, surfing has been amazing. And then also, even when you're just at the beaches, there's so many times when we've been walking where you'll see dolphins. One day I was at Surfers Point, I'll never forget, the dolphins were jumping out of the water and riding the waves, and we just watched them go down the coastline, and it was magical.
One thing that really stands out in my head, and I didn't know was on my bucket list, but now that I've done it, it's like crossed off my bucket list, Skyrider Ultralights with Mike. When we went over there for our Camarillo things to do, he was like, "Hop on," and we went up and just flew over Camarillo. It was breathtaking and amazing and exhilarating, and there's no walls or anything for you to go, "Oh, let me look over here with the window." It's just open, and it is an experience that I think everybody should have. As one of our clients said, the only problem about living here is that there is so much to do, you just can't pick one thing.
That's right.
We hope that you've enjoyed this video and you've added something to do on your bucket list.
And that you also commented below to tell us what you love. What are the special areas here that you love to visit? Would you like real estate agents who are constantly digging, learning, and striving to know the area inside out that you're interested in moving to?
Then give us a call, shoot us over a text or an email. We'd love to hear from you.